In this lesson, we are going to be hired by another hypothetical client to make a YouTube video thumbnail for his channel. We'll implement everything we have gone over in another real-world scenario. After this lesson, you should feel comfortable using your skills with your creativity to make projects work seamlessly. Your workflow efficiency should also increase. Our make-believe client wants a video thumbnail that is going to get him more viewers on all his videos. He has done the hard part for us and figured out the most recent YouTube algorithm and only needs us to create slight variations for his video thumbnails. The only stipulations he gives us is to make the words stand out and use images as backgrounds. He gives us the text to use for the thumbnail and the image to use in each. Besides that, he gives us full creative control over the creation of these thumbnails. So, with that information, we can get started. The first thing we want to do is create our design using the image as the background and choose the YouTube video thumbnail size, which is located in the social post sizes. The first thing to do is select the background and use the beta feature remove background. This is a brand new feature that is perfect for creating YouTube video thumbnails as it removes the background chosen except for people. It does a decent job half the time and works near seamlessly with our picture here. Now that we remove the character from the background, we'll move our figure over to the right-hand side of the project, just enough so that his elbow is sticking out of the field of view. Next, we'll change a solid color background we have now to a color that matches our figure's hoodie. Next, we need to add some depth of field to our solid color background, and to do that, we will choose two stock photos. They can be whatever you like, but try to keep it relevant to the overall project. As with the image background earlier, it totally depends on what you want to use, as I can't provide the file that I exactly use. So try to mimic it as close as possible. I'll choose two different desk photos and adjust them to fit the background equally. Reduce the opacity to 40%, and now we have a solid depth of field look to our background. We need them to be behind everything, so we'll go to order and put them behind everything. Lastly, we want to leave those images in the background and away from immediate viewer notice. To do this, we'll go to Looks and select Blur and take it down to about 35. And we will do this for both images. Now we have our dimensions, and we can get started on editing. You always want to begin a project by adding text first and editing that before you move on to anything else. So we'll add text and use the phrase our client gave us. Gain 100K followers in 1 week! Once the text is laid out, we'll work on adding boldness in order to make the text stand out against the rest of the design. We'll break down the text by word and focus on bringing out the most eye-catching words like 100K and 1 week, and add that to our secondary style. We'll use Lead Goth for our secondary style font. This font just adds a professional look to the thumbnail that I think is the tone we are looking for in this project. We need a color that'll play off well with the background, so basically what goes well with green. I'd say a yellow will complement well with, again, a basic shadow effect to add depth that goes well with the tone of the design. We need to change the shadow color to something similar to the background color. I think any green color will do as long as it doesn't stand out too much. Now, we will back out and select our whole text box and select our font as New Cabal, which again complements our other font. I think the shadow and outline effect works nicely here, giving it a subtle depth. I need to add a shape to the text box to fill some of the negative space we have under the text box without adding anything else that would grab the viewer's attention. So we'll choose this drop-down banner shape and adjust accordingly. Finally, we'll adjust text size and move the order of our text to just behind the figure to again add professional depth to our thumbnail that blends everything together. This brings us to the end of our YouTube video thumbnail lesson. You now should be knowledgeable with the basic overflow and concepts that go into making a video thumbnail. There will always be variety, so I'll leave it to you to mess with certain things and thumbnail project layouts. Practice using the steps I took you through and create your own make-believe thumbnails to hone your skills in even more. Coming up, I'll introduce you to your first project for this class.